there you go. We'll see if they decide to do that. Johns Hopkins also has their own warrior remaining, which we have yet to see. So I'd imagine at this stage to be honest,
Well, all the
with
tweaks
modern
actually.
control warrior decks,
Uh-huh.
I don't even know I guess Patron would be more favored against Druid than control warrior would be.
Yeah. But a lot of the tweaks that I said earlier for Tempo Mage is actually better against
You
Warrior
asked
as well.
for it.
Because
Mhm.
Arcane Missiles is not as good as Arcane Blast against Warrior generally.
Yeah.
And also, more Flame Cannons is also good there. So.
Well, Johns Hopkins looks like they are staying with Tempo Mage, but there's a card that we haven't seen yet, the Spell Slinger.
Spellslinger, one of the first cards you think of when you think of the Casino Mage style.
Yes. Spellslinger and then Blingtron.
Yeah. I've actually had a really funny Spellslinger moment the other day when I was streaming. I think it was something where the other person got a corruption with the Spellslinger and corruption one of my guys, and he gave me something like a Resurrection, the Shaman card, so I countered his corruption with Resurrection.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Reincarnate.
Reincarnate, that's
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah, Reincarnate.
Yeah. Resurrect. Respawns a random minion that has
Yeah.
been killed. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, we'll see if it's gonna create any interesting moments this game. A decent start for Maryland, but it is a little bit awkward because they don't really have a good innervate target. If they innervate, well, that changes things a little bit. Next turn, they do have a play where if their aspirant's killed, they play Shade. If it's not killed, they can play a Shredder.
Never feels good to leave with an Aspirant. It's one of the best cards
Oh no!
in the game right now.
A Murloc Raider. That is not a good start for Johns Hopkins. And you can see Harrison's just like, oh, jeez.
At least it's a minion. It threatens the hero power.
Is it? Is it a minion? Is it even big enough to be
Emperor.
classified as a minion? Yeah, so they can innervate out Emperor this turn. Reduces the cost of... Or not. Okay.
Wow. Not taking a huge innervate here. I would have thought that with the Shredder, you would just maybe innervate out the hero power so that you don't lose your Darnassus Aspirant to a ping.
Yeah, 'cause
otherwise, if
the
you're
innervate-
if you're not going to use your innervate anyways, or sorry, if you're going to not kill the 2/1 anyways, I feel like you might as well just go for the Emperor. It's really good here.
Yeah, especially since if you Emperor this turn, even if your Darnassus Aspirant is killed, and they deal with your Emperor, you still get to play Paladin Shredder and Shade the next turn.
I mean, again, this matchup is very tempo-oriented, and you're effectively gaining your innervate back by reducing the cards in your hand.
Yeah.
If you play 2 minions next turn, it's like you played innervate anyways next turn, so in every turn, it takes over the game more and more. 5/5 is probably a stronger body than a 4/3 right now.
Yeah, interesting choice. We'll see if it pays off for them. Johns Hopkins in a little bit of a rough position here. They can get Spellslinger, but Spellslinger can really punish you if you're behind. Because you can give... Whoa!
Mal'Ganis.
Mal'Ganis, which is funny because Maryland's team name is I Am a Turtle, which is exactly what Mal'Ganis says when he goes onto the board.
Mal'Ganis actually, as cool as it is, it's not exactly... Mal'Ganis is usually scary coming from a Void Caller. It's not exactly the strongest minion when you don't have any demons in your deck, and you're playing it for not 9 mana, but 6 mana. It's still only 7 life.
Would you play Mal'Ganis if it was a neutral card that cost 6 mana?
Yeah, probably. Maybe not, actually.
Because the secondary effect wouldn't be that great. Because demons...
Ooh, Ragnaros.
Alright, so it's a little bit of a slower tempo mage. I think they actually did switch up their deck, because we didn't see Shredders, we didn't see Spellslingers, and we didn't see Ragnaros in the last deck. Maybe they just did in the bottom half of it, because we've seen this deck 3 times now. Not
Wrath
sure.
is an interesting way to deal with the Shredder. Allows, hopefully, presumably a good trade into the second half of the Shredder with either the Shade or the Shredder.
They could also keeper it and just trade it with their own Shredder. But seeing what comes out first, sparring partner.
Wow,
That's awkward.
It's actually a good minion, but this will probably force out the Innervate Keeper.
Yeah.
You don't want to trade it. If it's a 2/3 that comes out or something like a 1/3 easy trade in, you don't really want to trade your minions into this. So this would kind of be the same result as silencing and then wrathing, because you can just kill it with a keeper. So I do like this play more than silencing and then killing it first, since most of the time you would be able to trade efficiently and then just go ahead and play the aspirant, but
Yeah.
now you're forced to play the keeper. It still turns out as good.
Blingtron, there it is.
I feel like this is your favorite card.
This is my favorite card.
How could I tell?
Look at, here we go. That's a True Silver Champion and a Fiery War Axe.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a 3-2 weapon, which Fire War, and I mean, Maryland's able to deal with the Mal'Ganis here, but they're not developing their own threat with expensive costed cards in their hand.
I'd like to see Maryland attack here because going to 7, there's Dr. 7 coming down. If you can force a Fireball to come down this turn instead of, because one thing Maryland does not have is the big game hunter. So if you don't attack, you're losing too much life here, and you're not. You know, it feels easier for your opponent to just play a Dr. Boom at turn 7, and unless you get that attack off, you know, it's pretty easy for them to play.
Bane of Doom and Sacrificial Pact.
Man, that's the perfect counter to Bane of Doom.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
Imagine you Bane of Doom, get Mal'Ganis, and you start greeting your opponent,
and
then
then Sacrificial Pacts. Oh, Force of Nature, that's dangerously close.
I'd still like to see Ancient War come down.
They're going to Bane of Doom, I know they are. But if they Bane of Doom, they don't play anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Ancient War, like, it does so good against the 3-4 anyway.
Yeah.
It just taunts up the board and delves.
Yeah.
Oh well. We'll see what happens. They're dangerously close to lethal with the Force Nature already in their hand as well.
I think playing that Ancient of Lore seems like a really solid option here. Then they could push the 2 damage. And now they're basically just a Saboteur away from winning the game regardless.
I wouldn't actually even mind the Emperor going down this turn because I feel like you can Bane of Doom and Force Nature in the same turn. You can Bane of Doom people in the face.
Yes, you can.
So...
Yes, you can. And people never realized that until Bane of Doom was actually buffed to include all the demons.
I didn't realize that at first, and I missed lethal because of that before.
Well, that is going to be the
Hopefully
game.
They go for the style Bane of Doom lethal.
I don't think they
what
can.
demon comes out. Oh, they can't.
No, they're 1 damage off from being able to use the style points Bane of Doom. But Maryland is going to take the win in the game, and that means they're going to take the win in the series. A fist bump comes out from Eminent, the Hearthstone Eminem X, and King's Defender. Are those the only 2?
I think so, but otherwise it's the same thing. King's Defender doesn't. It's the same thing as a Fire Wax.
Oh, it is a King's Defender. All right, Emperor Thorsan is going to come down, and Maryland's actually getting dangerously close to Savage Roar just being lethal. And Savage Roar also allows that Nerubian Egg to trade up, so that'd be a good draw moving forward. True Silver Champion actually is kind of annoying because Maryland can't really use the King's Defender right now to gain them much of an advantage unless they hero power to bring it up to 4, which would allow them to trade into the Blingtron efficiently. But then they don't play the Emperor. They are really holding on to this Emperor. That's interesting.
This does allow with the hero power to go ahead and kill the Blingtron instead of trading the Shade in. One interesting thing about Blingtron is that it's usually used in Mech Mage because Blingtron is a card that has a symmetrical effect, but you can kind of make it an asymmetrical effect because you're usually on the aggressor side. So with this extra weapon, you can, push in the last bits of damage for lethal. This is kind of a special situation because you're playing Blingtron when you're behind. You know? So it's actually, the Blingtron was actually harder to use because now their weapon is kind of threatening a lot of face damage on your side as well. Mal'Ganis got a nice little synergy there.
Yeah, they're able to heal for 2 because they don't take damage. The Blingtron Mal'Ganis synergy. Wow. If a new player was watching this game, they're like, what the hell is happening? Blingtron's not a card that you see very often. Of course, it's a random weapon for both players.
The young Evan.
His knees were weak, his palms were sweaty, but there is not vomit on his sweater today.